Hey everyone, Dave Guerra here. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's time for, that's right, the BerlinBrigade.com podcast, episode number 121. So in this episode, what are we doing? That's right, we're continuing the BerlinBrigade.com 2021 Film Festival. Welcome. And in this episode, it's 1, 2, 3. Yes, that movie, James Cagney. And it's set in a little town we all know. That's right, Berlin, West Berlin at the time. It was still West Berlin. Well, it was on the verge. The wall hadn't gone up when they filmed the movie. And when it released, well, the wall was already up. So pretty interesting little story. And it's funny and it's humor. Well, I don't think the kids nowadays would get it because they wouldn't understand. Right? But now, us being there and us having been there at any point, not just in the very early 60s when this movie was filmed, but going forward all the way through. We understand the humor behind it, that shots, those political jabs that are said throughout the movie. And it's funny. It's a great little movie. And what else can I say that hasn't already been said? If you haven't seen 1, 2, 3, folks, you're in for a treat. Pick it up. I know I picked up a copy on Amazon, and I think it cost me maybe like $13. So that movie's there. And no, I'm not going to lend it out because there's somebody out there who still owes me a couple of VHSs. So VHS video movies. You know who you are. Tom, you know who you are. And you still owe me a movie. Last time I checked, I still have the little list. And the last time I saw the list and who checked it out. So just letting you know, still out there. But either way, it's all good. All is forgiven. But now you owe it to yourself. If you don't already have 1, 2, 3 in your library, go ahead and get it. And that's how you can pay me back. There you go. Get yourself a copy. I'll share the link. I will share the link on Twitter, so you can get that on Amazon. I'll share the link on Facebook. I'll share the link on the website. So all of those links will be out there. That way, if you're interested in picking up a copy, by all means, do so. Alrighty, let's see. Let me get some administrative stuff out of the way. Then we'll start into the movie.
Einsteigen bitte.
All right, let's see. The registry up to date. We had some new additions, so we added those to the registry, and it was brought up to date on Sunday. May 9th? Yes, Sunday, May 9th. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. Mother's Day. Hope everybody had a great Mother's Day. So that's that. But the registry's all up to date. All units are updated that were updated. And let's see what else. Yes. There is a new calendar online, and it's there on the BerlinBrigade.com. And you go to the website, and up at the very top, you'll see the home registry, all the menu items. Right next, the far right, next to the last on the far right is the contact, or the last is the contact. Next to that is the calendar. Click on that, and it's just kind of, right now, basic form calendar. Nothing, pretty much a couple of things already set in stone, but a lot of it's to be announced or tentative when it'll happen. Right now, we're just showing the next episode. Well, this episode you're listening to now is online. Then we'll have the next Berlin Brigade live stream on Facebook, so be sure to join us there if you're not too sure when the next one is. And folks, those of you that are responsible for giving shout-outs or promoting your upcoming events, reunions, stuff like that, 'cause things are happening. So, so drop me a note, let me know. We'll get you on the big calendar here. We'll even put under the event who the point of contact is. So be sure you bring that, pass that on over. And again, Dave at BerlinBrigade.com will suffice. So just let us know you have an event coming up, and it's open to all members of the Berlin Brigade. Now, if it's open to specific members and, there's only certain criteria you have to meet and you're only looking for those types of individuals, well, let us know. There's nothing wrong with that. But let us know that, hey, you're only looking for individuals that served in the aviation detachment, and we understand it, and that's fine. But no need to hoard the information. It's time to share that information, because definitely we want to get out and we want to go about, and if we can run into some old friends, why not? So again, that's over at the calendar, and just drop me the pertinent information and we'll get that posted up there as well. Alrighty, what else? Contact, we're good there. Oh, definitely thank you to those of you who have donated. Greatly appreciated. Still got a long way to go, but we do appreciate it, and it does help. Don't get me wrong, it does help getting this, keeping this website up and running. And there have been a couple of times where we've cut it close. We've cut it really close. But again, it does help. So again, thank you very much to everyone who has submitted, who has given a donation. And so again, also thank you to those of you that are subscribers and listening through the Apple Podcast or on Spreaker and Stitcher on Spotify. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. So that pretty much takes care of the administrative stuff. We have a couple of things at the very end of the podcast after we talk about the movie 1, 2, 3. So let's clear this. Let's get this cleared up here and let's get started. All right, here it is. The movie's called 1, 2, 3, and this is our second movie in the Berlin Brigade 2021 Film Festival. And let's see, IMDb says in West Berlin during the Cold War, a Coca-Cola executive is given the task of taking care of his boss's socialite daughter. And it's pretty interesting, and all mayhem ensues. Let's see, the movie stars James Cagney as C.R. McNamara, Horst Buchholz as Otto Ludwig Pilf, Pamela Tiffin as Scarlett Hazeltine, Arlene Francis as Phyllis McNamara. Arlene plays James Cagney's wife, the character. So there's that. Howard St. John is Wendell P. Hazeltine. That's the boss over at the corporate in Atlanta, Georgia. Hans Lothar Schlemmer. And Leon Askin. At Perry Petchikov. So we'll talk about him in a little bit. Ralph Walter, Carl Leifen, Hubert von Meyernick, Lois Bolton, and let's see who else. Peter Capel, Till Kiva, Henning Schluter, and Carl Ludwig Lindt. So there you go. Those are the main characters of the movie. It's a funny little movie. So without delay, let's go ahead and get started. As normal, what I'll do is, as I'm playing the movie, I'm watching it in real time. Then what I will do is go ahead and break. I'll give you a timestamp of when I'm breaking, and then I'll tell you what's going on, or my 2 cents about the movie. So stay tuned for the end. And there it is. Let's get started. Billy Wilder's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we see the opening credits, and right off the bat, it's got Leon Askin in it. So if you don't know who Leon Askin is, he played General Burkhalter in Hogan's Heroes. So let's press play. All right, for about the first minute and 46 seconds, it is just the opening credits. And immediately it cuts in to the Brandon Brigade. And we're looking at it from the British sector side of the Brandon Brigade. So about 2 minutes, 50 seconds in, you see a parade, an East German parade. That was pretty much like James Cagney said, their daily business, parading. And you saw the Soviet side, Nikita, Uber, alles. That's what the sign said. That's exactly what it said. The banner that the kids were carrying. And then as the other banners came across, something against the U2 and Kennedy 9 and Castro Ya and Sign of the Times. And then immediately behind that is a banner being carried and asking the question, Was ist los in Little Rock? Again, Sign of the Times. And you see how they take everything and they kind of, again, that's Soviets too. Let's press on. Let's press play. Alrighty, so 9 minutes into the movie, or 9:18, and James Cagney has established himself, McNamara, as his character, and we now know who he is and what he's doing there and what's going on and what his plan is to break the Iron Curtain and break through the Iron Curtain and bring Coca-Cola to the East. Great plan. And here at about 9 minutes, 18 seconds, we see the Soviet delegation arrive. And of course, our own favorite General Burkhalter is among the trade delegation. It's only 3 men. I do believe it said Digitov, but let's press play and continue watching this movie. All right, about 18 minutes in, and now the plot thickens. The daughter of the president of the company is coming into town. She's flying in on Pan Am. And hey, anybody listening, did you ever fly in on Pan Am and land in Tempelhof? That might be the older crowd. But again, I did fly in. I did fly in on Pan American out of New York and landed in Tegel. That's where I landed. I think that's where the majority of us did after it was more open and things changed around and things settled down there on the Tempelhof Air Base. So again, so that's the question. Anybody flying in on Pan American straight to Tempelhof? Back to the movie. All right, so fast forward to about 25 minutes, 40 seconds, and McNamara is on the phone to the head of the president over at Coca-Cola in Atlanta. He just informed him that he's on his way to Europe. All right, now, that's not what we're talking about. Take a look at the background, the windows, and the little shelf there by the window, and underneath is radiators. Look a little familiar? Seems like that's the standard architecture or design or infrastructure or whatever you want to call it. Just caught my eye, and it's like, hey, I've seen something like that before. So let's press play. Okay, fast forward 50 minutes, 58 seconds. Having just found out that Scarlett is pregnant, or schwanger, Cagney recites a line in this, or McNamara recites a line here, and he goes off and he says, "Mother of mercy, is this the end of Rico?" Well, that's referencing a movie, Little Caesar, 1931. Cagney was not in that movie. That was Edward G. Robinson and Douglas Fairbanks Jr., if I'm correct. It was a little early mob movie, kind of the mafia kind of thing. But interesting that he says it, and it caught my eye, it caught my attention, caught my ear. There we go. And it's like, I've heard that before, and that's where it comes from. From the movie Little Caesar, 1931. Let's go back to the movie. All right, we're going to fast forward just a little bit. 52 minutes, 48 seconds under the tones of The Ride of the Valkyries by Wagner. We see Cagney and crew make their way into East Berlin, and of course, they're stopped there just on the other side of the Brandenburg Gate. And, well, we've all seen this in some form or fashion. I guess in this case, in this movie, it was, the six-pack of Coca-Cola. But, hey, not to say that other things didn't get exchanged or confiscated. So, let's press play. It's getting good now. Let's press play. And now at 54:15, we see the car pull up in front of the Grand Hotel. Fun fact, another reference to an old movie, a 1932 movie called The Grand Hotel. It's a group of very different individuals staying at a luxurious hotel in Berlin, deal with each of their respective dramas. It had Greta Garbo, John Barrymore, Joan Crawford, what was the other one? Wallace Berry and Lionel Barrymore. So there we go. There we go. So if you haven't seen that one, that's a nice little, funny little movie. Grand Hotel, 1932, the original. There's been remakes and twists and turns for other movies like that, but it is a nice little one. So if you get a chance, it's the Grand Hotel. Alrighty, let's press play. Back to the movie. Okay, now we're really fast forwarded. 1 hour, 26 minutes, 50 seconds. They're teaching Otto his table manners, and in that scene, Cagney's getting frustrated. And he pulls one out of the old hat, I guess, his bag of tricks. And he asks him, "How would you like some fruit for breakfast?" He picks up a grapefruit, half a grapefruit, and just, looked like he wants to smash it in the face. Well, this is reminiscent of the scene from the 32 movie, The Public Enemy, with James Cagney, and in it, it's one of the most famous breakfast table arguments in screen history. Rising gangster Tom Powers, played by Cagney, listens to his girlfriend Kitty, who's played by Mae Clark, gripe once too often, and in a shot that shocks audiences more than the film's frequent gun violence, silences her by shoving half a grapefruit in her face. So there he goes again, just kind of playing back on some, just touching back on some greats. So let's hit play and let's continue with the movie. 1 hour, 30 minutes, 38 seconds, and bring on the military police, bring on the MPs. And really neat, that little scene right there with the MPs, and at the end, the, Specialist 5, I do believe that's the rank he's wearing. does a quick Cagney impersonation at the end. It's really cool. It's classic. Let's go back to the movie. All right, so 1 hour, 40 minutes, 18 seconds. They're getting into the car because the plane, the Pan Am flight, is arriving 10 minutes early. And Cagney says, well, what kind of way to run a business there? You know, airplanes are supposed to be late, not early. Anyway, so they're getting into the plane. And in most motion pictures, somebody, usually the protagonist, will say the title of the movie somewhere in the script, somewhere in the conversation of the movie or throughout the movies. They'll say the title of the movie. So in this case, just here as they're getting in, he's telling everybody, let's go, let's get in the car, let's go, 1, 2, 3. He doesn't say 1, 2, 3. It says 1, 2, 3, and off the car goes. So there it is. That's where he says the title of the movie in German. It's back to the movie. And at 1 hour, 42 minutes, 52 seconds, great panning shot to the front entrance of Central Flughafen, Tempelhof. Really nice shot. It would have been nice to see what it was like back then in color. But, and of course you don't see the memorial there in front for the airlift. But really nice. So back to the movie. It's almost over. Well, there it is. 1, 2, 3. Directed and written by Billy Wilder. The screenplay was written by Billy Wilder and I.A.L. Diamond. And starring James Cagney, Horst Buchholz, Pamela Tiflin, and Arlene Francis. So great little movie. Funny. It still holds. It's solid. So that's a good thing. It's a nice, good movie. And again, it has our old friend, the city of Berlin, and all the Berliners and everybody there. And the scenes at Tempelhof were also very nice. You could tell where the stage ends and the backdrop was done, but it's still very nice. Kept pretty much, as best as they could. So that's a good thing. But other than that, good to see some old familiar places. Alrighty. Hey, listen, special treat. Our good friend, Tom Williams, he's over there. He's a former engineer with Berlin Brigade, and he ETS'd there he ETS'd out of Berlin. And he left and he worked there, and he has a little message and a little story about what we see in the movie. So let's go ahead. And again, everybody, says Tom, and he's in Berlin on the ground right now, and he's been there since he ETS. So kudos to him. And let's see what he has to say.
This is Tom again out of Berlin. And, just listen to your, as you call it, short show, and therefore this will be a short MP3. I just wanted to say it's odd that you mentioned another show that I was actually involved with afterwards. 1, 2, 3. Fantastic show, humorous, very fast. You got to really listen to it because they are very quick. As I got out of the engineers here in Berlin, it was an overseas discharge. The first job I had here was with that soft drink company. And on the first day, they told me, hey, there was an American movie made here about 6 months ago, I believe it was. He mentioned it around 6 months before I arrived. And they just finished up shooting the film there. As I saw the movie for the first time, everything was perfect. But only one thing, the Jimmy Cagney's office with that big picture window and the high-rise buildings in the background, that was done on stage, although the office looked identical. And in reality, that's out in the suburbs. Those buildings out there are single-family homes, 2 stories at the most, 1 or 2 stories at the most. So that's the only thing that I could see that wasn't. As the trucks came out of the plant, the soft drink plant, I drove out of there many times because I drove the trucks myself. It was really a good movie. So if you recommend it, I'm sure the people will really enjoy it.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you, Tom. Thank you. And of course, anybody, if you have any comments about the movies or anything, go ahead and drop us an MP3. Tom did. It's awesome. And there he is. And gave us his info on that. So we really appreciate it. Kind of really adds a nice little backstory to the backstory. And that's really cool. So again, thank you, Tom. And again, thank you to everyone who's taken the time to listen and follow along and watch the movies so far. We got another great one coming up. But in the meantime, be on the lookout. We're going to be updating the BerlinBrigade.com website. And I'll be putting it out on the Twitter, on the Instagram, on the Facebook, on all of the apps basically that we're on. There's a survey coming up online, and which movie do you want to see next? And I'll put the list up, and you get to pick. And so the one that scores the highest within the time period will be the next one we watch, and the one that scores next will be the second one we watch. And then the third one, I'm going to put like 3 or 4, but the third or fourth one, the lowest 2, they're just going to roll over into the next survey. So just kind of, we're building for the next 2 surveys down, and so that's it. So again, thank you everybody for stopping by. Thank you everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And I'm Dave Guerra, former member of Alpha Company, the greatest unit in the Berlin Brigade. Alpha Company, 6th Battalion, 502nd Infantry. And again, I ask you to prove me wrong, but you can't. It's Alpha, 6th of the 502nd. And again, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for listening. Enjoy yourselves. I don't think we'll talk until after Memorial Day, so be careful out there. This is your safety briefing. Don't drink and drive. If you're going to drink, don't drive because it's kind of hard to make a left-hand turn, right? All right, swim with a buddy. And if you end up in jail, don't call me. I don't have any money. That stimmy money's gone. But assert dominance early. Assert dominance early, so if you're there in jail. Other than that, we'll see you on the other side. Please, everyone, be careful. We'll talk to you soon. Danke schön. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss.
Endstation. Bitte alle aussteigen.